back to my podcast, Fashion Canes. I am your host for this podcast. My name is Alicia. This is Season 7, Episode 5. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. And I am videoing and joining in on the conversation, Abby.
Her name is Abby. Okay, today we are going to talk about how visual impairment can affect your visual. Of course it affects your vision, obviously. We are going to talk about how visual impairment affects your physical body. A lot of times when we think of disability, we think of the obvious ways. For example, if you can't walk, then you can't walk. If you can't talk, then you can't talk. If you can't see, then, oh well, you can't see. But we don't often consider different ways that it can affect your body. And all disabilities are a spectrum. And all disabilities do affect your physical body in more than just the obvious ways. Okay, so let's get into it. So, one way that visual impairment can affect your physical body is it can make you, I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but I'm saying this so that sighted people understand why we do it. It can make how do I want to say this so that it won't be disrespectful? Visual impairment can make us, the low vision people, look humpback. I know that's not the kindest word, but I don't know how else to say it. That's because many of us have spent our childhood leaning over our desk to read. Well, I didn't, but a lot of low vision people do. Or we look down at the floor when we're walking. Sometimes I do, but I mostly look at the things around me so that I can see the objects around me, even though I can't tell what they are. Obviously, I want to see as much of the world as I possibly can. And when you are looking at the world through impaired vision, it can make it difficult to see where you are going or to read. That's why so many of us look down like this. I am looking at the floor right now. I'm looking down to the right of me at the floor. So many of us do this. And it's not just when we are trying to read or when we walk. Most of us have spent our childhood like even just sitting in a chair. We will like look down at the floor, or we will look at our lap. It's kind of like it's not really a coping mechanism, it's more like a survival skill. When I look straight ahead or up, when I look straight ahead and up and walk, I feel very uncertain and uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I'm going to walk into something unless I look, maybe not exactly down at the ground, but like, or the floor, but like kind of look down and look at the objects around me. Because if I look up or like straight ahead, if I tilt my head back far enough, like this, okay? I'm looking up, but I'm not looking way up like this. Okay, I'm looking up, like my nose and chin is somewhat pointing at the ceiling, but not completely like it was a minute ago. Okay, if I stand up with my chin and nose facing straight ahead or slightly upward, it's kind of like, for the most part, what I see is the ceiling instead of what's around me. If I do this and tilt my head way back, like all I can see is the ceiling. That's why so many visually impaired people look or have the characteristics of a person who is humpbacked. And it's not necessarily a flaw or a coping mechanism, it's more like a survival skill. Does that make sense, Abby?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anyone try to explain it this way?
I don't think so. I think it's a good explanation.
Thank you. Think about it. If you look, this is looking straight ahead, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay? I see like a little bit of that, but mostly the ceiling. I can't see anything off to the sides with my face facing this way. I have to do like this, kind of look down. Not completely like this, but like this.
Right.
If you are blind or severely low vision, I hope you are able to follow along in this video. I hope you are able to understand what I'm talking about. Another way that visual impairment can affect your physical body is when you eat, okay? Let's just say, for instance, you have chicken nuggets and French fries and honey mustard, for example. Okay, technically I can see the meal, but I can't tell what it is. So I may be attempting to reach for a French fry or a chicken nugget, and I dip my fingers in the honey mustard. Abby, do you ever do that as a sighted person?
Sometimes.
Why would sighted people do that?
Sometimes it's just subconscious, like you don't think about, like if you're not paying attention, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I do pay attention, and I still stick my hands in it.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that I never grab what I'm looking for when I reach it. I do. But since there's no depth perception there, I am more likely than Abby is to dip my fingers in honey mustard when I'm reaching for chicken nuggets or French fries. And also, when you are eating, I don't know if all visually impaired people do this, but I certainly do. If I dip a chicken nugget or a French fry in honey mustard, the majority of the time, that hand that I use to dip the chicken nuggets and French fries in the honey mustard will be covered in honey mustard. It's not that I'm just careless, but it's like,
Ariel.
it's almost like, how do I explain this? It's like it's not a habit, but it's not a coping mechanism. It's like I don't have depth perception, and so when I mean to dip the chicken nuggets and the French fries in honey mustard,
You don't know exactly how much to do.
I don't know how much to dip it in. Now, I have before dipped some chicken nuggets and french fries and honey mustard and brought it to my mouth, and I was like, well, this could use more sauce.
Right.
And it's not that the cup was almost empty, it's just that I didn't dip enough. While in other times, I would pick up french fries and chicken nuggets and dip it in the honey mustard and get it all over my hand. It's almost like you don't know how much to put on it, I guess. But if you love sauce like I do, I love sauce. Abby, I love honey mustard. And seriously, I love dipping french fries in honey mustard. Do you do the same thing?
I do.
I love that. It's delicious.
I love ranch.
I like ranch.
What if we pause it here since you're at 11 minutes and put you on the upper body bike and continue?
Yeah, I'm on the exercise bicycle right now. I'm about to move over to the our bike so we can finish this podcast episode, this conversation. Okay, I am now on the arm bike. I moved over from the exercise bicycle to the arm bike. Now we can finish this conversation, Abby. Yeah, okay, so it's almost like you don't know how much to put on it when you dip chicken nuggets and french fries and honey mustard, or you dip any kind of meat in any kind of sauce when you don't have depth perception. Now, if you love sauce, and if you basically drench the meat or the french fries in sauce, like I do the majority of the time, be prepared to have plenty of napkins and to go wash your hands when you get done eating. If you are anything like me, your hands will be covered in sauce by the end of that meal. Abby, do you have experiences like that?
Sorta. Maybe.
Do you get it all over your hand and then have to wipe it with a napkin, then go wash them in a sink somewhere?
I mean, maybe if I spilled it or something, but usually I don't. But that's happened to me before, yes.
Does it just by dipping chicken nuggets or french fries in honey mustard?
No.
So, can you see how much sauce to put on the meat or french fries?
Yes.
I can see the meat and the fries and the sauce a lot of the time, but I can't tell how much to put on it. If I lift it out of the cup and hold it in the air, I can see that there's some sauce on it. I can't tell that it's sauce. Wow, this is very complicated. But I can see that it's there, but I can't see how much is there, if that makes sense. You know, this is stuff that most people probably don't think about. So, if you are blind or low vision, and if you do get sauce all over your hands when you eat whatever it is that you like to eat, whatever kind of sauce you like to eat with french fries and chicken nuggets, that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want sighted people to understand why this may happen. And I also want sighted people to understand why many of us may look like we have a humpback when we may be young people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm not trying to be mean, but a lot of sighted people don't understand why a lot of the time we look down, or we may hold our chin down. It's kind of like a survival skill. Not really a habit, but it's more like a survival skill.
Right.
It don't necessarily mean that you're pouting or angry about something. It's like when you look down, when you are walking, you feel safer. I don't know if you are like this, if you are low vision, but in my case, at least I can see the objects around me, even though I can't tell what they are or how close or far away they are. But I still want to see what's around me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to add to this conversation, Abby?
I just appreciate you explaining it, I think. I think one thing I would add is that I can see how, you're saying that a lot of people that have vision don't understand.
People have good vision. We do have vision.
That's what I meant.
We have good vision. We don't have.
I wasn't finished. I was going to say that have vision that's not impaired.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I just was taking a breath. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And if you are like the teacher or the parent of someone that's visually impaired and you see them look down or hold their chin down when they walk, please don't tell them hold their shoulder. Please don't tell them to hold their shoulders up or to hold their head up. For them, it's not a habit. It's not a coping mechanism. It is a survival skill. We feel safer when we can see what's around us, regardless if we can make it out or not. Many of us can, but in my case, I can't. But that don't take away from the fact that I still want to see what's around me as much as I can. Thank you for watching this podcast episode.